Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli waj'al li waziran min ahli Harun akhi ushdud bihi azri wa yashriku fi amri kay nusabbihaka kathiran wa nadhkuraka kathiran innaka kunta bina basira. وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين آمين. Inshallah, we will continue studying the section Araf of the Quran, and we are here on the verse 73 of the section of Araf. So the 73 reads, وَإِلَى ثَمُودَ أَخَاهُمْ صَالِحًا قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مَا لَكُمْ مِنْ إِلَٰهٍ غَيْرُهُ. Now, as you see the translation on the screen, the people of Thamud, we sent their brother Saleh, who said, so Akhahum may refer to the other prophets. Most probably it is, most scholars say it is referred to Akhahum, the brothers of Saleh, who are the previous prophets. And he said, my people worship God alone. This is the pillar of the message of the revelation. We understand that the purpose of revelation is to teach the foundations of the understanding of the world. What is going on in this world? The most striking and engaging question that human beings ask. What is the meaning of this word, etc.? We know that what is going on, why am I here, who brought me here, and what is my destination? All this, why am I kept changing always, and life seems to be beautiful, but at the end it becomes horrible because old age and death it seems to be meaningless. The first thing bothers human beings, that who owns this universe, the existence, and what is the purpose of it? So the message comes up with this answer to human questions. So all the prophets primarily emphasized on the understanding or the message that they have no God other than him. Of course, we know that we are accustomed with saying other than Allah, God. But we have to be careful. Of course, we cannot deny that I believe in God. So far, I am convinced about it. But at the same time, while we are trying to understand the Quranic message, I have to ask this question: who is that this text is talking about him, apart from him? And the following will say that it is the Lord, your Lord. So your Lord means the one who owns you, who consciously, deliberately brought you in this universe, and he means something. He's a conscious being. So be careful about the life we are living here in this world. Not necessarily that we should understand this to the people of Thamud, what is one of the examples of the prophets that the prophet Salih was sent to him according to the Quranic narrations. But the names are not important. We know that. Of course, what God mentions are the real events took place in the past. It must be so. Because if he is the creator of the universe, he must know what happened in the past and what will happen in the future, because he is arranging everything. Everything is under his control. So emphasizes God, and also worship God alone. Here, worship God as we understand worshiping God in terms of religious duty. Of course, we have to learn from the instructions that we learn from the revelation, if we are convinced about it, that this revelation is really from my creator, from my Lord, from my owner, the one who takes care of me, educates me, prepares me for something else in this world. It seems to be there is nothing meaningless happening in this world. That is excellent. So worship him. Of course, I will understand from this worship, apart from accepting the religion, all these religious duties, which are if you like, prescribed duties in order to organize my personal and social life within the social context and the administration of the social life and administration of my personal life, family life, my life related to my relatives, etc. But the foundation of it, I am a creature who has to acknowledge, or who has the quality to acknowledge, who is the owner of this universe, and attribute my existence to that being, and see that the existence of everything, if I belong to him, everything else must belong to him. That is a logical conclusion. I mean, I understand if I belong to the owner of the universe, everything else in the universe belongs to him. So he is the one I have to attribute the existence of everything, and while I'm utilizing them, I have to use my feelings in order to be appreciative, thankful, grateful to him, because everything is given to me freely, out of grace. So this is the foundation of worship. But at the same time, I have to have feelings towards him and educate my feelings that nothing else deserves to be my Lord. So I will attribute everything to him alone. My feelings, all feelings that I am using now, must keep in mind, if you like, every feeling. I have to keep in mind that every feeling must be related to him. If I like something, that is what my creator wanted me to like. So I shouldn't really confuse it. If I don't like something, that is what my creator wanted me not to like. This is also what I have to always bear in mind. I have to remember this emotional, sensual relationship with my creator is the practical side of worship. Of course, after receiving the instructions from my creator about practical duties, if you like, prescribed duties, I have to do it with the same consciousness, but apart from these prescribed duties, my life will be based on essential intellectual connection with the creator of the universe. So I have to avoid from attaching any importance of this word as the source, independent source, having effect on me. They are all employed, whatever happens. So that is the worship of worshiping God alone. I understood. So every prophet came with this message. Of course, prescribed forms of worship may differ according to the conditions of each community, each society. So God will adjust everything accordingly. So it is not my duty. My duty is to find out which is valid now in my life, and I can practice it according to the conditions of my life, what I receive from the prescriptions of the scripture that I am responsible for. Of course, we should never forget that I have to be convinced about it. Okay, so قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ sorry. قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ بَيِّنَةٌ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ. Yeah. And clear evidence has now come to you from your Lord. The owner is sending in clear evidence. Of course, this is if you like, the problem, not the problem that we cannot solve, but this is the problem we have to concentrate on, focus on. What is this evidence? Ayah. هذه ناقة الله. هذه ناقة الله ناقة الله لكم آية فذروها. Now, the she camel belonging to God is to be a sign for you. The she camel belonging to God is to be a sign for you. Of course, historical narrations tell us that there was a camel created as a result of miraculous action of creation and sent to the people of Thamud. These people, names are not important, that particular people. And to be a sign for you, okay, maybe or not, maybe it means, okay, but it is what I hear from the narration. Now, as we always do, what is it to do with me now? I would say, where is my she camel belonging to God? For the moment. What do you think? What is our camel? Created miraculously for us, belonging to God. Please, suggestions.
My daughter is a she camel that was created miraculously for me, but belongs to God. And my son, obviously.
Your sons and a daughter.
Everything in the universe, I would say.
Okay, extension. Yeah, I mean.
They're all needy. We are all needy.
Sorry?
We are all needy of being given existence. So everything in the universe can be seen as that.
for us. For us.
Yeah,
order-
maybe whatever I interact with also can become something, maybe could be my colleague, my mom, my parents, you, anybody, my friends.
Yeah.
They could.
as my children. Yeah. So anything created miraculously is a camel for me. Miraculously. Because the verse says, هذه ناقة الله لكم آية 10. This is God's camel for you and ayah, and evidence. But at the same time, ayah means as a miraculous evidence, because ayah has these meanings, as a miraculous evidence. As our friend said, what is not an ayah for me? Now, but of course, these people were introduced to a prophet, and the prophet suddenly came up, a man among themselves, they know him, and a person like themselves suddenly came up and claimed to be to have received message or have been receiving message from the Lord of the universe, from the creator of the universe. Of course, we should understand that suddenly a person comes out like this. We need a specific sign from him. Otherwise, how can I trust him? How can I really believe in him? It is impossible. For a human being, we have to understand this. That is why we understand that a miraculous creation of a camel must have happened in the life of these people. Any miraculous things should happen. But the Quran says, camel, okay, camel. But for me, everything is a miraculous creation, and I have to take care of him. So this is a sign in order to prove and in order to demonstrate that everything belongs to the owner of the universe, the Lord of the universe, who is called now God. His name is God in the Quranic language, Allah. So, فَذَرُوهَا تَأْكُلْ فِي الْأَرْضِ اللَّهِ. The relationship is very important. Nagatullah and Ardullah. God's camel and God's earth. Why? It is not my earth. So that, oh, God created something miraculously, but it is getting into my land. Of course, no one can say that this land belongs to me or into my house. No one can say that the house belongs to me. It is created by God, and I used what was created. And I cannot claim that this camel should not enter into my property, because I cannot existentially claim that anything is my property. But I am given the permission to use them by the creator of the universe. The real owner is the owner of the universe. I am just a tenant using it, but paying nothing, freely. So God's properties, God's need creatures, because of course the example is the camel. Camel needs water, camel needs to graze, and satisfy his needs. So let her graze on God's earth. What is important here? It must be understood, any creature. Now we can go to the end of the verse, and then that will make sense to us. وَلَا تَمَسُّوهَا بِسُوءٍ. So never approach her, never touch her, yeah, with a bad intention. Well, the translation says, do not do her harm in any way. What is the generalization of the translation? With a bad intention. So, فَيَأْخُذَكُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. If you do this, you will be struck by a painful punishment, أليم, painful punishment. Now, what does it to do with this subject in my personal life, in my social life? Now, if God has created an animal or a plant which is grazing or eating, the plant is living in God's property, I should not have any bad action towards it. I should not harm it. I have no idea. But of course, what we think, if we don't bear in mind, or if somebody doesn't believe in God, this person thinks that, look, I can treat anything which doesn't have any protector. Doesn't have any protector. Because if someone doesn't believe in the owner of that creature, it means God, who doesn't seem to be really interfering when I try to harm his creature, doesn't stop me, doesn't protect it. It seems to be free because of the order of the universe. I have been given free will in order to choose within the order. So camel is there, or anything, anybody, a poor guy who has no protector, or poor animal who has no protector, and the plant as well. So I say, I can cut it, I can do anything if I don't acknowledge its owner, it is Lord. Because as if it is Lord is not protecting it. So this is so important for me that if I see an animal, I cannot really interfere into its life arbitrarily with the intention to harm it. With the intention to harm it. Because if I realize that this universe is an owner, and these creatures must be owned by him, and he is not interfering, but at the same time, I have no right to harm them. Although apparently he is not protecting them. But if I do this, فَيُخَذَكُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ, you will be taken away. It means captured, struck, the translation says. يَأْخُذَكُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ, and Elim, painful punishment, will strike you, will capture you. But we see that I arbitrarily, for example, an animal in the street, I just wanted to harm him, harm it in any way, a plant, for a bad purpose. It means in order to harm it for nothing. I mean, I am allowed to use animals and plants as long as I need them, not to harm them, but to fulfill the purpose of their existence, because they are created by my creator, and my creator allowed me to use them as much as I need. But what is happening now, for example, this ecological problem is happening in the world, everybody knows it, and especially the plants are exploited, the ocean is really polluted, the animals are being harmed. What happens at the end? The painful punishment harms me physically. This is the physical side of it. How about the psychological side? Unless somebody really, really corrupts its nature, otherwise, majority of the people or all people are given the same senses, but somebody decides, I'm not going to listen to it. But if someone, if I see that someone is harming, let's say, a cat, physical owner of the cat, there is no physical owner, only the owner who has created it, and torturing the cat in front of your eyes, how do you feel? And maybe beating it up, maybe just playing with it with a knife or a needle, and then see how it is suffering from it. And then let's say a nasty child is doing it. How do you feel? You saw it. How do you feel about it?
Very sad.
And do you want to stop it? If you can?
Yes.
Do you feel it? Do you feel it?
Yes, I would feel it.
Yeah. In America, they say, call 911, animal rights. Correct? The police will come in because you are not allowed to interfere into another person's personal life. But you can call the police, and police take care of it. It means the still, so for example, if somebody really in the street, there are trees, yeah, in front of your house, there may be a tree, doesn't belong to you now because you are the owner. But in this world, you are the owner, yeah, not the creator. That you are given the permission to use it in any way you want, and you will be responsible for it. But if someone cuts the tree belonging to the public, what do they do? What do human beings do in general? They inform the authorities saying that this person has destroyed the tree. So it belongs to general public, and the public belongs to God. So general public takes care of it and punishes this man. Exactly this sense is the witness, from one aspect, is the witness that this is a wrong action. That is how we are created. Now, the third aspect is emotionally, I feel the pain of it. For example, if I harm another person or another creature, of course, if I am conscious of it, conscious means not a child playing, they don't know. For example, I remember my childhood, we used to do many things to animals. So as a child, in another atmosphere. Anyways, but grown up, conscious being, they should feel the same thing in their feelings, in their emotions. So this is a pain that God creates in us in order to demonstrate that this is wrong. This is a wrong action. How about treating the things arbitrarily without acknowledging their creator? In general, God's camel, everything is the creator's camel. We can generalize it. So when I say the things don't have any owner, they don't have any purpose in their existence, they just happen there, I can treat them as far as my understanding of their reality is concerned, as far as my understanding of their being is concerned, saying that, oh, that's meaningful things. How do you feel? At the end, I understand that I feel within myself, ultimately it comes back to me that I have no owner, I have no protector in my life. Here I am, I happen to be in this way, and as a result, I will be destroyed without any purpose. This is the most essential pain or painful punishment implemented on me, because this painful punishment is inevitably taking place within myself. That is how I am created. Meaninglessness is the most unbearable feeling for a purpose, for a person. For example, somebody asks you to do something and you say, why? You say, no, just do it, not because of the authority. Meaningless, do it like this. Would you do it? I wouldn't. Anyone? Would you do it? Because
I wouldn't.
no, I mean, I would say, why should I do that? Unless somebody is forced by somebody powerful over you for any reason, that's something else. But, voluntarily do something purposelessly, you can't. Even you want to go for a walk for a purpose. There's a purpose. You want to go to a grocery shop and to buy something. That's why you are walking. Or for health reason, like me, that I have to walk every morning. So I go for a walk every morning. There is a purpose. I am strongly advised to do this exercise every day. So in this age, or everybody does something, but purposefully. If I do something with no purpose at all, I will feel very unhappy and somehow feel the pain of doing something purposelessly. Now, the last question here, I am asking myself, am I doing a lot of things without being really conscious of them? It means, for what purpose? Maybe I may be doing or spending my life on a petty purposes, not a purpose which really satisfies my human capacity, which means I have to do everything not for a cheap reason, but for a really worthy reason. It is worth it to do. That is the only way we can practice it, seeing everything belonging to God. Everything is a miraculous creation. Everything has the right to exist, and if it is a living being, and to live in this world. That is very essential in the teachings of the Qur'an. Everything has the right to exist. If I acknowledge it, everything becomes a means for me to be in contact with its creator. Naqatullah, God's camel, Ardullah, God's earth, and I belong to the same God. We are, if you like, it is what some Muslim scholars call it, everything is my brother, belonging to the same source. Of course, not God is the father or mother, but belonging to the same source. So I will entertain my life within this universe as seeing it. This is the palace, guest house of my creator. How beautiful it is. This is the gist, the really core of worship, consciousness of God. Everything belongs to it. Can you imagine living in this way? Everything belongs to an absolute being, and we are all his creatures. What a wonderful consciousness, awareness. Afterwards, does anything bother me? I belong to him. He is doing this to me for a favor in order to satisfy my feelings, so that I will understand I belong to him. I cannot control myself. Nothing else can control its own existence, its own life. Everything is arranged by him. Everything is under control of him. What a wonderful life. Meaningful. Otherwise, really. So I understood this expression of the word so important. God's camel, let it graze on God's earth. Everybody, including myself. That is beautiful. I was excited when I was studying this verse, actually. Anything, any further comment on it? Question, concern, whatever you can think of. If not, we can move.
I have just a comment.
Yeah.
Like, so one part is that everything is like to interact. The whole thing is to interact with everything as a reminder of its creator. That means that I'm created, everything is created. And also for me, it means in that sense, like when I'm worried about a cat being abused and I feel I'm overwhelmed because I cannot protect all the cats in the universe, that also is a reminder that its creator is taking care of it. Like it's, the other way also around this. If I don't want to abuse, but I'm worried about things being abused. So this is a reminder that it is taking care of it. So don't act as a creator. You are not the creator. Its creator is taking care of it. Is that also like the other side of it? Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much. The creator is the Lord of everything, but it definitely, this Lord of the world, the universe, definitely will take care of the right of its creatures, not only the rights of its creatures which are physically abused, I understood from your comment, but psychologically abused, or if you like, spiritually abused, meaningfully abused. If someone says, you are insignificant to you, your honor doesn't allow it. You say, you have no right to insult me. But other creatures also must have this kind of right. So their owner really keeps its record, must keep its record saying that, look, you insulted this innocent camel. Innocent camel will be, I don't know, any kind of being, as far as, and physically not protected. That is very, very important. God is not protecting it physically, but putting a pain in your feelings, it is protecting it, but you have the free will to deny it, to reject it. To deny it and turn blind to it. So you may feel that, okay, I'm not going to take care of my feelings. I'm not going to take notice of it. I'll just ignore my feelings and do whatever my ambitions, caprices want to do. I have the option to do that, but definitely the right of any creature will be taken care of. So, you know, if there is a murder took place 10 years ago, and the authorities investigated it and couldn't find the murderer. And 10 years later, this matter came into light, and the authorities got the evidence that somebody, Mr. Joe, is the murderer. What do? They take him to court. After 10 years, they do. Why? That is human feelings. That is what we see is the just way of treating or protecting the right of innocent people. That is how human beings work. Of course, it is this feeling is a sign that God has created us. Our Creator, our Lord, has created us with this feeling in order to let us know who my God is. All these signs created to me in order to help me understand who my owner is. We have to pay attention to this point. I remember mentioning this point on many occasions, that all human feelings are created in order to know who my Lord is. Because Lord has, my Creator has created these feelings for a purpose. Under the witnessing of the universe, I have to reason by using my intelligence and understand that this universe must have a creator. So I am a part of this universe. So I also belong to this creator. So when I understood that, how about my feelings? They are also given to me. They must be given to me by my Creator. For what? Not only for a temporary life. It must be according to the capacity of these feelings. My body, the capacity of my body, as far as I experience in this world, is limited between my birth and death. Okay. How about my feelings? No limitation. So these feelings must be used in order to understand their creator in terms of infinity, because their capacity is infinite. So I have to always experience one event. And as a result of this event, I have to come to a conclusion, to a realization, and I have to understand that this realization, which I came or arrived at the end of my reflection, is the result of my human side, not body side, human side. If a cat is tortured there, my body doesn't feel anything, but my feelings suffer from it. So this feeling is given to me in order to understand the creator multiplied by infinity according to the capacity of my limitless feelings. Why limitless? I cannot get to the end. Of course, practically, I may realize to a certain point, but if I reflect on it more, it expands. I understand that these feelings have no limit. I cannot get to the end. It doesn't mean that they are absolute, no, created, but as far as my capacity is concerned, they are limitless. For example, universe must be limited, has a beginning and must have an end. Limited, but can I get to the end? No, never. So I can say infinite universe in terms of createdness. My feelings are the same nature, in the same nature. So I have to utilize it always by multiplying with infinite. For example, when I learn something, do I enjoy it? Yeah. So this learning, the capacity of learning, demonstrates that my creator has given me the learning in order to understand ultimately the infinite source of the universe. Although I experience it limited in a limited way, that knowledge is lovable. So multiplied by infinite, God's knowledge is infinite. That is how we should utilize our feelings. Inshallah. Worship of God is only possible through these realizations. But everybody has his or her own capacity. Everybody will really try to increase their capacity. For example, as long as a student in, let's say, middle school first year, learning, let's say, mathematics, so does it say? I am in the class of mathematics, learning mathematics. Okay, good. But another person in the college level will say, I am in the class of mathematics, I'm learning mathematics. They are both studying mathematics, but the levels are different. Human beings are like this. If somebody is in the middle school, in his realization of reality of belief in God, he is on the way. He's struggling. When he comes to college, he will be able to understand as much as the college students can or are expected to. But there is no end. Yes, there is no end. In realization of one's belief, the capacity of one's belief has no end. That shows that description of the qualities of the creator of my feeling is infinite, and there is no end for me, that I'm done with it. I cannot claim that. Excuse me, really, that verse really excited me a lot, but I think if you don't have any other comment or questions, any concerns, let's go one more sentence. verse, inshallah, of the Quran. Okay, here we go. Let me go here as well. No, this one. Yep. واذكروا إذ جعلكم, correct? Yes. Section Araf and verse 74. واذكروا إذ جعلكم خلفاء من بعد عاد. Remember when he made you successor after Ad, the previous tribe or people who were destroyed because they rejected the prophet as a whole, except a few of them. So except a few of them, they are destroyed because they, as a community, they rejected the prophet. So he established you in land. Look, God gives, not creates in other people. Of course, it is the Quranic concept that we learn, and also practically we understand. The civilizations go up and develop, and then start declining, and then collapse, and then new civilizations arise. That is how it has been happening for centuries, known in history. So no one can really claim that this society has always been super. It is not the way that the things are created, and also it is not the way that we are experiencing in this world. Developed or prosperous societies, children are more spoiled. You understand this in practical life. They find everything free and everything ready, and the parents struggle according to their, of course, age, or age means their century, their living conditions, and the children become relaxed and learn nothing that they can really stand up on their feet. So it goes up and down, whatever. So God says, we replace you with another nation. With another verse, it says, we replace you with a better people. Yeah. So these are the verses of the Quran. Just side note. So Ad destroyed, and God established a creator of Thamud, the people of Thamud, and you build palaces on its plains again, in the same place, whatever it is, to enjoy your life now. You are given the opportunity and carved homes into mountains, to secure houses, so that if something happens, like historically, they must know it. I mean, we know historically, not necessarily that we should speculate here that the Thamud people knew Ad. We don't know, but I understand that I should apply this verse to me. I know the previous generations passed away. So those mansions, beautiful houses, and properties, what happened to them? They are destroyed. They died. They're gone. They are gone. But I do it in order, as if I am going to stay here permanently. Of course, we have to make the things in a better way, but we should keep in mind that this is not our permanent place. This is a temporary place. Isn't that obvious? Because the creation of death really marks everything with, if you like, in terms of this life, with dead end. Creation of death is absolutely beautiful. Now, creation of life is amazing, full of wisdom, but as far as my responsibilities are concerned, after I was given existence, are concerned, my responsibilities are concerned, I believe, that is my impression. If you have any other impressions or understandings different from my experience, death is much more important than life, and also full of wisdom. We should learn how to live in peace with death, so that we can overcome all the problems, most of the problems, psychological problems, and especially problems of loneliness, etc., boredom, this kind of things. Death is in Islamic civilization, death is the best advisor. Death is the best advisor to human being, letting them know what their reality is. Yeah, life is significant as a miraculous creation, yes, but I have to utilize it in such a way that I can solve my death problem. Loneliness, boredom, unhappiness. Keep complaining about everything. Nothing satisfies human beings. If we don't realize the purpose of the existence of human beings in this world within these conditions. So we have to bear in mind that the one who gave me life definitely gives me death as well. And this the existence of this as death is or has significant wisdom that I cannot really appreciate it enough. It is so meaningful, beautiful, makes my life meaningful. How? The death has two aspects that I can really analyze it. One is, it is just a dead end, meaningless. The other one is, no, it is created by the one who created my life, who created everything. That's what I am created within this universe, and I am put in the context of connection of whole universe. So it is a very meaningful existence, but the same creator gives me death. There must be a wisdom in it, as there is wisdom in the creation of everything. Everything is purposefully created. How about death? It must be by the same creator. He arranged my life in such a way that at the end, he gives me death. So it is a beautiful connection, actually. I have to take lesson from the death of the previous nations, that look, nothing they took away from this world. There's an expression, I don't know whether it exists or makes sense in English, but this expression, they say, the coffin, when the people are wrapped, when the dead bodies are wrapped with the cloth, has no pocket. They say, you cannot take anything with you. They can put something next to you in your body, dead body, in the grave, but it rots away like you rot right away. Nothing we can take with us. It means exactly nothing belongs to me. Temporarily, I am a tenant. I like this expression or this analogy. I am the tenant, and the place I am living doesn't belong to me. But it seems to be that the landlord is not taking any rent, and landlord is not asking for heating and cooling. The sun takes care of it. The orbit of the earth takes care of the cooling. So I experience all this. So beautiful. So I am not paying anything. Which kind of landlord is it? So I have to be grateful. But if I pretend to be the owner of the house, and if I really practice that I can use anything as I want, like the God's camel, I can do anything, then the result will be definitely I will be taken into account for it. I didn't utilize them. I insulted them because I can use them in any way I can regard them in any way I like. Let them, for example, say that they just happen to be like this. I can use it as I want, etc. Then the right of these creatures, even the inanimate creatures, will be taken care of. Why? They have the right to exist, and in their existence, they are declaring the qualities of their creator by saying that you are stupid, meaningless beings, happen to be by yourself or however the people explain it. And it is an insult to their existence. Definitely the owner of this palace of the universe will take care of the right of its creatures. So these people whoever they are, they wanted to make sure that their homes is protected by mountains. They carved homes into mountains. So God says, so remember Allah's favors and do not go about spreading corruption in the land. It means spreading corruption in the land physically, socially, but ideologically as well. Corruption in the land ideologically now. So some people may do something wrong, yes, some exploit other poor people or ignorant people, uneducated people. They play lots of games on other people, politics, etc. This is something practical but petty, the small matter. The real matter is spreading corruption in the land. Mufsid treats the universe with meaninglessness. I believe that this is the most severe corruption, the way of corrupting the creature's life. Don't do that. Although you carved homes into mountains, do you think that I cannot destroy you like I did the previous people that you know? At least historically, you heard from your great parents or ancestors that they were destroyed here. So by seeking refuge with the mountains, the creator of the mountains cannot take care of you. So the creator warns them and warns us as well. Look, I mean, we may see that, last generations, nothing is destroyed. No other people destroyed as far as we see in history, etc. But they are given death. That's why death is very important, and we have to really benefit from it. Thank you very much. The time is really, really late. I am very pleased that you were patient enough even to let me extend it for 10 minutes more. Any more comments, anything? So we should stop here. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة. Inshallah, we can read the Fatiha to thank Allah and remember that we are His worshippers.